Alright, so we are back. This is going to be season 4, episode 16 of SOAP. I'm on my period, so I am miserable. So I apologize if I appear absolutely miserable in this video. I am. In the last episode, Bert has just completely embraced being Bat Campbell, which he's even got a little bat that he wears on his suit. It's a complete disrespect of everything that he stood for in the beginning. Like when he first went on the show and was arguing with them about his name and all of these things and about how it was more important, his family and getting the truth. And none of that seems to matter anymore. He's Bat Campbell and he's fine with it. So, okay. I'm questioning where the babies are at. I think they're going on a mission now to help save Wendy. But where are Scotty and Timmy? Like, they had their little storylines and then they vanished. We never even see the mothers taking care of them anymore. We never hear them cry. Where is Corinne, for that matter? I don't remember seeing Corinne in the last couple of episodes. So hopefully, some of those characters will show up and reveal themselves.
This is the story of two sisters, Jessica Tate and Mary Campbell.
I'm still playing my game
These
too,
are the
so.
Tates. And these are the Campbells. And this is SOAP.
No, I got this Starbucks coffee and I haven't reviewed it yet. I don't like it. I'm drinking it because it's coffee, but it has a burned taste to it, and it's supposed to. I don't get it. Okay. Anyways. Felt I needed to address that at some point. It is weird to me that it's supposed to taste burnt. It's on the packaging. It's part of the flavoring. And I'm a person, like, it's really weird for me. Sorry, even more of a diversion. I like some burnt things. Like, I prefer burnt popcorn. I prefer burnt toast. But for some reason, I don't like burnt coffee. It's clearly strong. Sorry.
So when I was 8, we moved from Cheyenne to Calabasas. You ever been to Calabasas?
I can't take much more of this.
You don't have to. We're gonna die soon.
I forgot about this guy. He crawled through.
Mice! Mice!
Mice, this pretty big mice.
Of course it's Bert. With a bat.
You're right outside. Bert, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? I'm the Roto-Rooter man. Actually being rescued. You guys okay? We're okay now. Have you seen Wendy? No, you don't. They're working on it. The school data is okay. Maggie, Jody,
Excuse me, we haven't been properly introduced.
right, either. Is it gone? Right outside.
Sorry, and he's turned his head now so you can't tell, but it's making me laugh. The beard on this man, and yet Billy Crystal is completely clean shaven. He's so young, he hasn't hit puberty yet.
Jeez, they give you a terrible room. Hey, are you guys okay?
Oh, great.
Terrific. They're fine. Now, is it gone?
Boy, you wouldn't believe what we went through to find this
I
place.
would be believing. Now, listen.
Hey, who's the old guy?
He'll tell you later.
Hi there.
Dutch, will you stop?
We have come, or as my esteemed leader would say, enchiladas rancheros.
Listen, if
Hey,
you're
Joe,
going,
you feeling okay? Fine.
Speaking of puberty, here comes Billy.
Shh, I tell you, we're leaving right through finding this place.
I'm trying to tell you something here. Listen, this is it.
I've seen nothing.
There's another one. Fine. I get one look at one too. Why is everybody coming in here?
Senior know this. We are very grateful.
Oh, no problem. You know, as I always say, when there is a maiden in distress, El Puerco will get into her dress.
I always wanted to say that. And I'm glad it's finally out of my system. You're supposed to be outside. Will you get out there?
Intrusive thoughts 1. Sorry, I spoke over Bob's line, but intrusive thoughts 1 for that guy.
You're supposed to be outside. Will you get out
Like Bob said.
Yeah, what a dump.
Should have brought the tip. Listen, tell us what we gotta do.
You wouldn't believe what we went through to find this place.
We said he was listen.
Hey, boy, you remember Maggie, don't you?
Sí, buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Where you got you, Judy?
Hey, Chuck, you remember Maggie, don't you?
I'm gonna wait until that blows over. I think he's done. The neighbor runs a leaf blower across his property every morning, so if you're all wondering what that noise was.
Fido el paso de Costa Nostra, so. Listen here now. In a little while, they're gonna be on to us here.
Kicked up my allergies.
Major, this is your idea of a joke?
Nice try, Sheriff.
That's not the Major.
So you have failed again, Mr. Dallas. You have failed to retrieve your daughter, and now you have failed to escape. You must realize you cannot defeat a ninja-sama. Now you shall
Oh, that's Saunders with the baby. I thought that was one of their people with the baby. I was like, why did he bring the baby down there? But it's Saunders. That makes much more sense.
Oh, Wendy.
Yay.
If you don't mind my saying so, I believe we've worn out our welcome here, so let us get the hell out.
La victoria es nuestra. ¡Muerte a los tiranos! ¡Sanos con todo! Saunders, how can we thank you?
Something from Tiffany's would be nice.
Listen, hey, old Pally, if you want to come along, we got this room in the camper.
Oh, you're too kind. You know, it's been 25 years since I seen the light of day.
Your skin looks wonderful.
Say, tell me, how's President Eisenhower doing these days?
Gee, I'm sorry to tell you, but Mike's passed on.
Oh, my God. That means that Nixon is president.
Well, he doesn't like Nixon, so I think he'll like the future outcome for it.
Okay, are you sure you're not feeling faint?
No,
No,
it's
I'm
too bright.
fine. Good, okay. Oh. She just fainted 5 minutes ago.
She's a fainter. She's always been a fainter.
You should have seen her. Her eyes rolled back in her head. She looked like Orphan Annie.
Put your head between your knees.
You're talking to me.
No.
Oh. I didn't know the eyes rolled back. That part surprised me.
She has fainted all her life. If we added it up, she's been 2-3 years out cold. She's going to be okay, thank you. Mary, I cannot believe you haven't outgrown this fainting business.
Oh, Jess, you're talking to me.
Head down. You fainted over everything, everywhere we went. To the dentist, the movies, the zoo. I have spent half my life picking you up off the floor.
Jess, I need you so. I'm in trouble. My life is a mess. I don't know what to do. The baby might be an alien. Bert barely speaks to me. And I've started drinking.
Mary, are you just saying this to get back on my good side?
Oh, Jessie, I've missed you so.
Well, Mary, I've missed you too.
You have?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Oh, Mary. Oh, Mary, when we broke up, I just didn't know what to do because I couldn't go to my best friend and tell her about my sister, and I couldn't go to my sister and tell her about my best friend because you were both, and I didn't have anybody to talk to.
Me neither. Jess, you do understand about Chester, don't you? I mean, there didn't seem any point except possibly to hurt. I didn't want to do that.
I know, Mary. Yeah. Well, it was just one of those times when there was no terrific thing to do. I mean, to tell me or not to tell me, both of them were terrible. It's okay, Mary. I understand now. So, what's all this about your life?
I drink a lot, Jess.
Well, Mary, you should. The body needs fluids. You can go for weeks without eating, but only a couple of days without drinking. Then your tongue turns black and falls out of your head.
No, Jess, alcohol. I think I'm an alcoholic.
You are not an alcoholic. Now, what's this about the baby being an alien?
He does odd things, Jess.
Mary drunks see things.
Jessica, I am not seeing things. They're real.
Mary, are you asking me to trust an alcoholic about this? Believe me, it is not the baby, it's the bourbon. The baby is just fine. Now, what about Bert? What's the matter with you and Bert?
I'm afraid I'm losing him.
Well, Mary, if you keep drinking and seeing things, can you blame him?
They're real, Jess. Really. I mean, it started before the drinking. Bert and the baby, it started before.
It did?
Yes.
Come on, Mary. Let's go. We've got a lot to talk about, and we can't talk about it here. Let's have lunch. We'll talk about it over a drink.
So, I will say I'm happy that they have reconciled their relationship because their sister bond was very cute. But if somebody tells you that they're afraid they're an alcoholic, even if you don't think that, you should probably take it seriously because most alcoholics are private about it. That's why it's a problem. It's not the social drinkers. My grandmother had a problem with drinking. She went to jail at one point for drinking and driving, and she had stopped. But after my grandfather passed away, she started again secretly. And I was the only one that really knew about it because she had tried to drive out to the property and she was acting wobbly. And I thought her medication was making her funny. So I offered to drive her myself. And when we got there, she fell asleep in the back bedroom and I got worried. I was so scared. I thought she was having a heart attack or something. And I called an ambulance. And the firefighters did come and they checked her out and they told me she's just drunk. And I went and looked and found half a bottle of Jack Daniels in the side of the car. She had intended to drive over the property in that state. She was well old enough to know that it was a problem. She knew that she had a problem. But I didn't know that she was having a problem. I was 20, 21 at this time. So it wasn't like, but when an alcoholic has a problem, they often are doing it secretly and privately. It's not something that you're going to be open about. It's not the hard partiers. They have problems, obviously, but I think Jessica should take Mary's statement that she's an alcoholic a little bit more seriously than she is taking it. But I think also part of the problem is that Jessica drinks and she doesn't want to question her own drinking, maybe.
So, what do you think?
I think I'm in shock.
Well, what's so shocking? You asked me to marry you. Now I'm asking you to marry me.
Maggie, I asked you to marry me when I thought we were going to die. I meant it at the time. I mean, it's not like I thought, what the hell, we're going to die anyway.
Well, you haven't asked me since we made love in the dungeon. So I thought I would ask you.
Is this the same kabuki chef that keeps getting invested in their conversations? Are they going to the same Japanese steakhouse just so this guy can invest in their drama?
Will you marry me?
Maggie, it's not that I don't want to. It's just that I don't think you understand everything that's involved here.
So you're saying that you do want to?
Maggie, don't you understand? I don't know what I am. What if in 2 years I fall in love with another man?
What if in 2 years I fall in love with another man?
That's normal.
But that's not normal for me. I don't fall in love with men. I love you. I want to marry you.
Maggie, I'm afraid.
Judy, you are not a fruit cup.
How do you know? I don't even know that.
So this is it? This is goodbye?
Maggie, what about therapy?
I don't need it.
For me to be sure about me.
Jody, you don't just go to a shrink and get straightened out in a day.
Maggie, I want you to wait, but I don't feel that I can ask you to wait. Will you wait?
Jody, I love you.
Maggie, I love you. I just want to be sure that I always will.
Hiya, Jody.
Hey, Philip.
Haven't seen you around lately.
Yeah, I've been kind of here and there.
This is interesting.
Maggie, this is Philip. Philip, this is Maggie, my fiancée.
Hi, Phil.
This is a joke, right?
I beg your pardon?
Listen, Phil, it's really nice seeing you again.
Oh, yeah. Right, sure. Jody.
Of course it's a real woman, you idiot.
I don't understand why people still have so much problem with Jody being Jody. Like, this has been the question for him from episode 1. He still internally believes himself to be gay. He clearly has feelings for women, which means that he's probably bi, but he's not wanting to be with a woman. Nobody wants to accept that, though. It's even strangers getting into the conversation not wanting to accept that he is who he is saying he is. It's very frustrating to watch, and I can only imagine how frustrating it would be to live, because there are a lot of people struggling with their sexual identities, and the world around them and the judgment around them is what makes it such a struggle for them to just be themselves.
Now I told you, nobody gets called on. If they stand up, you must sit down. And raise your hand. And leave your suit.
Sheriff, when you had dinner at the White House, what did you talk about?
Crime and veal.
Could you elaborate on that?
Well, we know that the veal is better in the east, it's more tender. And the crime is very bad. All right, this guy over here with all the gold chains.
Sheriff, I'm from People Magazine. We'd like to know what you sleep in.
A bed.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, but this press conference is over. Sheriff Campbell has business to take care of. There'll be another one again soon. Come on.
All right, let's go. I wear ties. Thank you very much. Okay, here you go. Danny, I'm so glad to see you. Where you been? It's been a couple of days. Look, all right. I'm sorry for what I said. I take it all back. You and Glenn, it's fine. So what you do? You eloped?
We didn't elope, Bert.
Good, thank God, because that was a terrible idea.
How'd you do it?
What'd you say?
Well, I was not going to ask me about my dinner at the White House. I told him.
Come on, don't play games. What'd you say?
Well, that it was lovely that we had veal parmesan and broccoli.
To Gwen. What did you say to Gwen?
Wait a minute. I didn't see
You told her something, Bert. You told her something to make her go away. Now, I want to know what it was and where she is.
Damien, I'm telling you, listen to me. I'm swearing to you. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see her. I didn't talk to her. What's going on?
She's gone. I went out to rent a car, and when I came back, she was gone. She was going to marry me, Bert. And then you tell me you think it's a bad idea, and then she disappears. Now, what the hell did you say to her? Did you tell her to leave for me, huh? For my career? What the hell did you say, Bert?
Benny, listen to me now. Listen, I swear that I said nothing to her. I haven't seen her there.
That was a terrific news conference, Sheriff.
Yeah, fine, Perkins.
Boy, those answers were great. Bed. I love that. You sleep in a bed. Great answers.
Did you come in here just to kind of shoot the breeze or what?
Oh, no, I have brought the mail, sir. There's some fan letters. Your subscription to Guns and Ammo has started.
Thank you, Perkins. You can leave now.
Here's one from Bill Buckley. I'd read that right away, sir.
Thank
and
you.
a letter from your girlfriend. Yes, sir.
Could you go
Sure.
now?
She wasn't abducted by that guy, right? She just chose to leave.
I can't marry you. No, look. I never have. You're just a good friend, that's all. When? Danny, I'm sorry. I had nothing to do with this. I would never hurt you like this. Danny, I'm sorry.
Yes, I owe you an apology.
No, just forget about that.
What is it, Bert? What the hell happens? Lane gets murdered. Polly leaves me, and now Gwen. Every time I fall in love, something happens. This is the way it's going to be for the rest of my life. Am I going to be alone forever?
Come on, Danny. What are you talking? Wait a minute. Hi-ho, Back Campbell here. Whoopsie-doo, Governor. How are you? No, busy. Am I? Of course I'm not busy. Whatever you... Go ahead. Golf? Oh, when? Sunday, you got it. Golf. I love golf. I love the shirts.
Poor Danny.
Have a seat, Mr. Dallas. Dr. Rudolph will be with you in just a minute.
Thank you. Hello? Dr. Rudolph?
Oh?
Hi, I'm Jody Down. I'm sorry, my palms are a little sweaty. I'm nervous. I take it this is your first therapy session. You can tell. It's perfectly normal to be a little nervous the first time. Oh, good. Therapy can be pretty terrifying, or it can be really... Everybody down! What is it? Bees. What? Bees? Where? All around us. Get back! Get back!
He's a previous
I take it you're
patient,
not the
right?
doctor. They're gone. They'll be back. Always come back. These are animals. Back. Get away from me.
Oh, get him all.
It's pretty unusual for this time of year, isn't it? What?
I'm stung. Right on the beeper. Do something. Help me. Help me.
How about a little calamine lotion?
What?
A little calamine lotion. You crazy? That bottle's completely empty. Getting out of here.
You're so tall.
That's it.
He almost didn't reach the door.
Hi. I'm feeling much better now. Thank you. I know. Everyone's a little nervous the first time.
Dr. Rudolph?
Yes.
Hi. Can I ask you something? That guy who just left you.
Bigelow, nice fella, hates bees. What seems to be troubling?
Nothing.
This is going to be a short session. Have a seat.
See, I don't see bees flying around or anything. I'm a pretty normal guy.
I see. But there must be some reason why you're here.
Yes. I want to get married.
To me?
You see, I'm gay. Or I used to be gay. I don't know. But I know I'm in love with a woman, and I want to marry her.
Why don't you?
Because it wouldn't be fair to her. Say we had a child, and in 2 years I fall in love with another man.
You want children?
Oh, yeah. That's why I have one.
Have a child.
Mm-hmm. But not by her, by another woman.
Let me get this straight. You have a child by one woman, but you want to marry another woman and someday have children with her, and you're worried about being gay.
The other woman doesn't count because it wasn't love. That's a whole other story.
Story. Sounds like a miniseries.
So I thought I would come to a shrink and... I beg your pardon.
Well, that's perfectly all right. I don't mind being called a shrink. I call my shrink a shrink.
You have a shrink?
Shrinks can have shrinks.
Well, yeah, sure. I guess that's normal. I mean, you spend all day listening to everybody's problems. I imagine you'd go a little bananas.
We don't like to use the term bananas. Bananas and crackers.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's perfectly true. If I didn't have a shrink, I probably would go bananas.
So you'll help me?
Well, we can work on this. And in time, I think we can come to some conclusions.
How long?
Depends. May take a matter of months or a matter of years. Most likely the latter.
I can't ask Maggie to wait years for me.
Mr. Dallas, there are no shortcuts.
What about hypnosis? No, I read that some woman someplace was brought back to another life or something, and in a matter of moments it became clear as to why she cried every time she wore a hat.
Hypnotherapy is a tool, but it's not always effective, Mr. Dallas. There are dangers.
Like what?
Well, it is conceivable that I couldn't bring you back. You could actually get locked into a different time period. Then I'd get sued of the key.
That's not an actual danger of hypnotherapy. There are problems with it. They had discussed hypnotherapy with me at one point, but getting trapped in an alternate reality is not one of the issues. Being overwhelmed with what you've recovered is more of a problem, and not being able to process or overcome what you've recovered. But this sounds like it's going someplace very silly.
I'd sign a waiver releasing you of all liabilities.
Then again, hypnotherapy can prove to be extremely valuable. Would you be interested in some other forms of psychiatric shortcuts?
Like what?
Oh, the sensory deprivation tank. What's this? Trust me, you'll love it.
Those things terrify me. Will not.
And then there's LSD 25. A very fine alternative.
I will.
No acid. I draw the line at...
Personally, I want to try mushrooms. I've heard that it can be effective for PTSD.
hallucinogenics.
Great, just testing. It's illegal anyway.
Well, when can I begin treatment?
Now that's the hard part. Let me see when I can possibly get to you.
Boy, tomorrow would be great.
What luck? I just happen to have free time tomorrow.
That's terrific.
Same time tomorrow?
Great. See you then. Doctor...
Sorry, we don't validate. Cancel my appointment for tomorrow at this time. Have we got a hot one? This guy actually signs waivers.
Census
psychiatrist convinced Jody that hypnosis might help him find himself. Will Jody find anything he likes? And if not, will he still pay his doctor's bill? Now that Jessica and Mary started speaking again, will Mary stop drinking? Or will she continue to find solace in a bottle? Will Bert's newfound fame cause his ego to grow? And if so, will he have to find a bigger office? These questions and many others will be answered in the next episode of SOAP.
I'm more curious why they keep going to that same Japanese steakhouse so that this guy can get involved in their relationships. But that was episode 16 of SOAP. We're racing towards the end of the series, which makes me very sad because they're starting up new lines that I know are not going to be finished because we've only got like 5 episodes left. So, but we're moving through it.